as Christ, Jesus found time to do everything he needed to do. Note that Jesus was not stupendously rich. He's stupendously rich in terms of riches in glory, but he was not liquid. He had assets, but he was not liquid. In other words, he had everything as much as his Father in heaven has given unto him. But when it comes to liquid cash, he doesn't have it. You know, when people have houses and shares and all of that, but it's like they don't really have money. Not that much. And some people have money, but they don't have assets. So, Jesus was asset rich, but liquid, nahi. Not much. But the thing is, he was able to feed and provide for everyone who was in his care. Everyone he had asked to follow him. Everyone had asked to follow him. You know, people say things like, oh, well, Jesus did not, if God intended for women to lead in church, he would have asked women to follow him. Well, apart from the stigma and the misunderstanding that will come up from that, apart from that, I mean, there will be misunderstanding in terms of, you just have men around you. They'll think you're a homosexual, so to speak. But then there are different reasons for that. And I believe right now it's just crossed my mind that one of the reasons were because men are the ones who are less likely to follow. He asked men to follow. For one, they are the ones less likely. And so that women can see examples of submission, he asked men to follow. You know, when you look at feminism, the only reason feminism is and it thrives is because patriarchy is up and running. That is the failure of leadership. Where there is what you can call anarchy. If men were submissive and focused to a good cause, they submit themselves to a good cause, to the right courses, they focus on the right courses, where do you think women will head to? You get? Women will naturally want to do the same thing. When men also submit themselves to their desires, what they want. I want what I want. I want this girl and I'm going to have her, either by hook or by crook. Women too see that and say, well, I want this man too, either by hook or by crook. So it's like men are the ones who sow the seed, literally and figuratively. They are the ones who sow the seeds. And guess who give birth or reap the harvest or reproduce the harvest? Women. So when you sow an emotional seed, a mental seed, a societal seed, an economic seed, when you sow the seed of pride, the seed of ego, these things are infectious. Whatever it is you're doing, that's why, everything about a woman, when someone said the problem of women is men, it seemed like he was simping. But that is a very, very deep statement. If women are having problems, it's because men are the problem. If men are doing the right thing, women we feel compelled to want to do the right thing. Is what I saw happen. And my mother bears witness to that. My mother is a strong-minded person. She does things her own way. But a lot of times she found herself conceding to what my father requests of. Why? Because my father led by example. He didn't try to force her. He tried to understand her. And so because of that, she realized that when you care for someone, you don't try to force them. You try to understand them. And you try to work with what they are willing to. And then eventually they build up strength with that. I won't say my mother has perfected that, but when you can do something, you just keep doing it. That's why the Bible talks a lot about submitting to God, submitting to God. When you are submissive to God, your wife sees that, naturally, she will submit to you. She won't even know she's doing it. In fact, if anyone should ask her, she will say, no, I don't know what I'm not. And truly she isn't. Because it's a subconscious thing. It's not something you have to deliberately, if you have to deliberately do it as a woman, it's not how God wills it. And more often than not, it doesn't work out. Because it's a synergy. Submission is a synergy. Jesus talks about he who will be the chief first, or who will be the chief or something, have to serve the most. So the more you want to lead, the more you have to give. That's just it right there. So instead of focusing on what women have to do, when you say women have to, you are relinquishing your leadership to them. That's just the truth. The generals, they lead. They don't just tell their soldiers what to do. They show them what to do by doing it themselves. So they lead. And that's why a lot of times, no matter how powerful an army is, in fact, most of the time, some of the most powerful armies, it always surprises me that some of the most powerful armies will scatter when their warlord falls. I'm like, what? And the reason is probably simple. They had to follow his lead. In other words, if he's not leading physically, they can't do anything without him, even if they have the ability to do a lot. But you see, when a man leads well, even if he falls, because times come when that could happen, his wife will be able to lead. She'll be able to go on and keep fighting on. In fact, the anger of her husband falling will be the propellant to the total victory that they will gain. Because at that point, she feels like her friend, her mentor is down. She has nothing to lose at that point in time. And when a woman has nothing to lose, she's not an enemy anyone wants to have. We'll continue this some other time. Guard your hearts with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Know your God, that you may do exploits and that you may be strong. In any area of your life that you're feeling exploited, it's because you don't know God enough to transcend into that area of your life. And remember, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Peace.